Manual breathing, manual breathing. It's like when you're rubbing a ODing person's chest right there, and you gotta do the.
Sternal rub?
You do that a lot?
Only after a huge dab.
Yeah, you got like rub a bunch of ODing people on a weekly basis.
No, just myself.
Oh, okay. I'll say I don't know if I've ever like physically witnessed somebody OD. But hey, that's a good way to start the show. We're live, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a little bit because we did an early show last week and we're doing a late show this week. But as you can see by my complexion, I've been outside a lot. So yeah. So you know what it is? Nooner Nation podcast for Nooners by Nooners. Happy to be back. Happy to be back in the studio. You know, I took a long road trip back to my hometown in Hendersonville, North Carolina. So
A long way home.
it was about 15-hour drive.
God damn.
Yeah. We split it up on the way there and stopped in Louisville, Kentucky. And I forgot that, though very nice people, Kentuckians, different breed of people for sure.
Did they offer you moonshine right away?
Super racist.
Where I was staying, the racism would have been pointed towards my color. So, I was staying near the view from my hotel room was the University of Louisville's football stadium. So, which is huge.
Okay.
But
It's like straight out of Compton, played on banjos.
yeah, no. So I went. This is what struck me as odd, is that so we get there, and it's obviously me and my wife and my two kids who are 7 and 4 in this hotel room. And my wife immediately, as soon as we get there, my wife's like, find a liquor store, like get a bottle of wine and some Fireball because like I am so fucking done with today. After being in the car for like 9.5 hours with those kids. So I went to, I think it was a Kroger grocery store in their liquor department and
Classic.
found a very nice bottle of red wine that is one of our favorites that typically here in Iowa is like $24 for the bottle. We don't get it a whole lot because it is kind of expensive for red wine. I mean, it's not expensive for red wine, but for us, it's expensive for red wine. There in the Kroger in Louisville, Kentucky, it was on sale for $13.99, and the bottle of the bottle of Fireball was $19.99. That's what I said. You know, you're in Kentucky when good red wine is cheaper than Fireball.
Did you get like that special reserve Fireball that's from like the barrels now? Have you seen that one?
I have not, but I'm down. Special Fireball, like, poof.
Yeah, no, it's like special reserve Fireball. Thought I'd tell you about that one.
Yeah, I need to know that one. I need something new for the old lady to spit in my mouth, you know?
Just
Just baby bird it right in.
Need some fancy shit. That's anniversary shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. She only spits that in my mouth during our anniversary.
No, just the good stuff. Like you can do that on any weekend, but it can only be, just a regular Fireball. But like
Right.
the reserve
Right.
is for special occasions,
Yeah.
Christmas, birthdays, and
That's when they break out the good bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. That's what. Yeah, the anniversary, Christmas. Yeah, the Christian holidays, things like that is when you break out the Fireball Reserve or Devil's Cut or something. Probably I can't imagine what they call it, but.
Shit, I started
Pseudo
drinking on
pagan
Jewish
Christian
holidays just to.
holidays.
Yeah, Yom Kippur. The old lady's gonna baby bird some Fireball Reserve into my mouth on Yom Kippur.
Amen.
Some of that low alcohol grape juice that they do.
You put in the Jewish holidays and the Christian pagan holidays, like you're getting baby birded. on the
Weekly.
Well,
regs.
for
So,
one, I'm
like,
never
who's
working again.
losing?
You know, if I follow
Do I?
both, if I follow both sets of holidays, like I'm never working again. That's for sure. Like,
I mean,
There's some upsides to that one.
So what's up? Oh shit! So we got Womb Raider in the chat.
Oh shit!
I was informed it's his birthday. Happy birthday, dude!
Happy birthday,
happy
man!
birthday, Woon.
Happy birthday.
So, I don't know how old he is. He's probably like 60. His body's just pickled.
No, he's 700 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like a vampire. We just, he's a day walker. And he got bored and went to Iraq.
Started doing mushrooms just cuz.
Yeah, just cuz. Just to see how, like,
I
what
mean,
was like.
how else would you cope with immortality other than psychedelics, you know?
Yeah.
69.
I mean, the murder bit kind of,
I mean,
keeps
definitely
you
can't
going.
be sober.
No. If I was a vampire, it's like, oh, like, I just can't die. Like, man, I'd be just so fucking drunk all the time.
Just taking mushrooms and drinking just to see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
But do vampires get that effect from alcohol? I don't know that lore.
You gotta drink a drunk person's blood.
It depends on which which canon you follow. Do you go by like Anne Rice's, or do you go by I don't know, like Twilight? Do they get drunk in Twilight? I don't know what they do in
Well,
Twilight.
that's the thing. I don't know who all like speaks on it. You know, like
I think
has
in
it been
True Blood,
something
don't they get? I think they get drunk in True Blood.
I mean,
I should know. We just finished watching it again.
what we do in the shadows, Nandor drinks a crackhead one time.
So maybe that's what you
Fucking
do.
love that show. The new season's coming on soon. And
Oh my god, I
wait.
cannot wait. Speaking of new seasons, has anyone seen any of the new season of Righteous Gemstones?
We watched.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so we watched the last episode last night.
What do you think of it?
I'm waiting for something to happen, I guess. It's still funny, but it's getting maybe to the point where I think maybe they should have stopped it, but we'll see. I mean, the writing
I've
core
heard
is
that there were
fantastic.
dicks in it, and now let me show some more titty.
Yeah, for William's birthday.
I heard that there used to be dicks in it, and now there aren't dicks.
So there was a
and
dick in the
apparently
last
it's not as good.
episode.
Yeah.
There was a dick,
There was a wiener
pretty
in the
good,
last
pretty
one.
pretty respectable dick in the last episode.
So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched any episode
Mm.
of that show, so
You should. It's pretty funny. Especially
Yeah?
like,
It's a really well written comedy.
yeah. Especially I grew up in the South where there are like those mega churches. So it's pretty funny.
yeah. I mean, a little HBO, you know, for like TV shows, HBO usually
Yeah.
does a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, I'd say they're around like, I don't know. They're a solid 80% for, TV content for sure. They've done way more. Like I said, I've watched the tail end of it, but my wife went and rewatched True Blood. Again, I think I've maybe seen it twice. And even that show, like the show is bad, but it's done so well by HBO that it's good.
Pretty much a movie. Like,
And
it's just a
Yeah.
really
I'm
long
pretty sure that's how HBO wanted it to be. Like, let's make just like this dumb, campy vampire show. And it's supposed to be stupid. So that it's good, but it's dumb at the same time.
It's one of those things. It's dumb enough
Yes.
to keep you watching, but good enough to like.
I mean, and also,
Is it
yes,
like
the
good-looking
constant
people or
nudity
the
helps.
sex that keeps you, but also it's like
Vampires
the
fucking.
shitty
really do.
storyline. At the same time, you're like, well, what's gonna happen with so and so and so and
Yeah.
so?
Yeah, Sookie, Like
Right.
fucking Anna
Sucky fucky.
Paquin.
I've only been able to watch it one time through because of how fucking stupid it is, but I love it so much.
Yeah, it's good.
But you know how fucking bad it is. But I mean, I will say the first few seasons are my favorite. After that, I just get a little bit bored with it.
Yeah, well, then it gets in like
It's annoying what
spoilers. Like,
happens.
wait, so like, she's a fairy, and
It gets.
She's a fairy. The other guy's a
so
werewolf. This guy's a
far.
vampire. Hey,
Yeah.
it's mythical creatures.
And then when they do like
America,
to
right?
Alistair, and it's just like, bitch, what? And then this is how it ends. And you're just kind of like,
Is Alistair? Is that the who's Alistair?
I think the werewolf.
Oh, is that
Joe
is his name Isn't his name
Magnin?
Alcide?
Mm. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Joe
Whatever
Joe
the fuck. I'm sorry, I
Manta.
got the whatever close enough.
Yeah, Joe Mantical, the guy married to the hot Spanish chick.
Which
Hey, Sofia Vergara. That's
Yeah.
an easier name to remember than his name.
Well, to
There's
be
no
fair,
respect on Sophia.
the reason why I decided to do this show at 6 and not 7:30 is I wanted to do it before the day drinking kicked in. So I've been doing yard work all day. So with yard work comes like a case of Miller High Life. So,
Nice.
but I did on the way. So we stopped in Louisville, which was about, I don't know, 4.5 hours, call it 5, from the final destination in North Carolina. We had to drive through Knoxville, and I know they sell hard AF in Knoxville. So I called ahead, said, hey, you guys got any hard AF? Shout out University Liquors right next door to the school. And they said, yep, we got 2 cases left. I was like, hold them for me. I'm getting them. I get there, and they had 15 packs of tall Bud Lights on sale for $20 with a $15 mail-in rebate. So essentially, it was like $5 for 15 pack of Bud Light. So I bought 3 of those.
$15 million rebate? That's wild.
So I bought
That's
3 of
a-
those,
That's
and
a deal.
I go up to the counter, and the guy's like, Bud Light. He looked at me like I just said the N-word in public.
That's like the conservative equivalent these days, though.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, like it's $5 for a 15 pack of tall boys. He's like, well, you know about Bud Light. And I was like, man, I've done gayer shit and paid more for it. Like, I don't care, dude. Like, I'm getting ready to go on a boat. Like, all day. Like, I want this Bud Light for $5. So then, of course, because I did buy it. We rented a pontoon boat to go out on one of the big lakes in South Carolina while I was down there. And for some reason, I just enjoy Bud Light on boats. About the only time I like to drink Bud Light.
I mean, you're drinking water, so you're staying hydrated.
I mean, it's based, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what it is, right? It goes down like water on a boat because you're just in water already. I mean, we always called Bud Light sex in a canoe because it's fucking close to water. And so of course we get down there and nobody packed any sort of like floats for the boat. And
Did you at least have life jackets?
we had life jackets. So I could have at least done, have you ever done floaty diaper? We
Yeah.
put a life jacket on as pants.
Yep.
And use it as a floaty diaper. But so I'm loading this boat up with Bud Light and I'm getting all these looks from people. And as I'm going back to the car one last time to get, I think like my backpack or something for the day, the ski shop has like a 5-foot inflatable unicorn. So
I
like,
think I've seen a picture of this.
Yep, you've seen it. It's on Hard AF's Instagram. Me drinking Hard AF on the unicorn. So I
Bill
ended up,
became a fucking model.
yeah, I was like one Bud Light later, here I am riding a unicorn. Which I named Trevor. So I was trying to think of like the most low key gay dude name. And I was like
Aaron or
Trevor.
Trevor's a good one.
So yeah, it's like Trevor, and he was too small to like kind of lay on and float around comfortably, but he was also too big to travel across a lake at full speed in a pontoon boat with. So it just like the whole time was just me cussing Trevor, like like God damn it, Trevor, and like I'm trying to get on him, like, and he's like to the size where I had to like straddle him. And I go to straddle him and he flipped me off. So it's just like everybody laughed and I'd be like, Trevor's tamed. Trevor's tamed by no man. So, but it was a good time. It was a good time. I took the oldest tubing And to his credit, I gave him everything I could within reason to get him off of that tube, and he was not coming off.
I mean, that
Oh,
has to
yeah.
be like a little bit of like a proud dad moment, right?
It is, except he woke up the next morning and like the palms of his hands were like so red that obviously they were like so super close to being blistered. And he like couldn't move his arms. He's like, my arms are so sore. And I was like, son, at some point, just let go of the fucking tube, you know?
It's okay to tap. It's okay.
Nope. That hard-headedness of I'm going to fucking do this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if he's gonna, it's just a life lesson there.
Yeah. So that was fun. Also, I'm waiting on my like $45 from Bud Light back, so we'll see. Also, I had to fight a bear, a black bear. I won,
fun.
obviously. Fight
Get out
back.
there.
No, yeah. So we were up in the mountains, and a really good friend of mine who lived kind of like right where our Airbnb was came over the first night we were there, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are going to see a black bear for sure. I see them all the time." So, like one night, like me and my mom and my brother are kind of hanging out on like this deck. Like the house had like a wraparound deck, and I hear something like kind of banging around out in the driveway. And I was like, I bet you there's a fucking bear trying to get into the trash cans. Because like there's signs all over the house, like don't leave food outside, use the bear-proof trash cans, which we did. So I kind of go around the house, and yeah, there's a black bear like trying to knock one of the trash cans over. And I'm like, oh shit! And it looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and we're kind of going back and forth. And swear to God, first thing that came to my mind, I threw my hands up and literally yelled, "Fight back!" And it took off running. And I was like, yeah.
Bill fights like a fucking red panda, guys.
He knows who the alpha is. And my mom and my brother on the other side of the porch. And it's probably 1 a.m. And we're drinking like fucking Maker's Mark. We're all just fucking lit, you know, drunker than a Pontiac full of Indians. And I'm just like, yeah, fight back. Like, get all big. And they're just like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, there was a bear in our trash can. I was like, there's a bear in our trash can?
You're like, there was.
I was like, there was. And then the next morning, so I go and like push the trash back, like go out there, put it back, upright. And the next morning we wake up, my brother's like, well, the bear came back because the trash can's knocked over again. And I was like, okay. And I look out there, I was like, well, he definitely came back because, yeah, one of the trash cans is knocked over. There's also now 2 trash cans when last night there were 3 trash cans.
So he took a whole ass trash.
He took a
can
whole
with
ass
him.
trash can and dragged it down the
Take
side of
this
this fucking.
bitch.
He
Fuck
like
you, fight back.
he taught
Fight
yeah.
me now.
Yeah, he's
I'll
talking
show
shit
you,
when I'm not there.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like the equivalent of like Brad Pitt's character in True Romance. He just talks shit
Came
when
back with
everybody walks
friends.
away, you know. So then, yeah, we found the trash can like just kind of like behind the house, but like down off this kind of like pretty steep kind of water runoff ditch thing. And of course, it's the one that's absolutely full of trash. So we couldn't get it up. So then I was like, we're in North Carolina. My friend lives like 5 minutes away. We're going to do some redneck shit. So I call my friend over with his truck, and we just hook chain, like I crawl down there, chain up the trash can, hook it to the truck, and pull it up the side of the mountain. You know? And of course, my wife's like, I don't think it's in like the Airbnb agreement that we're responsible for this trash can. And I was like, when you're in Appalachia, you do Appalachian shit, you know?
When in Rome.
She's like, what if the truck couldn't get it up? I was like, well, then obviously we would just shoot at it. That's what you do.
Make it lighter. Jeez.
What else would you do?
So, but yeah, it was a good time. What'd you guys do for the 4th?
I did mushrooms and stayed inside all day, so that was really fun.
Charlie?
Yeah, drank.
Of course.
Was in the pool and Maybe had some jazz cabbage.
Ooh.
You know, enjoyed the day. I got a little bit of sun the day before, so I wasn't in the sun for very long the day.
You know, I saw that story of the fridge, so that looked.
Was that the one with the moonshine in it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And then my brother-in-law and sister made the video.
Yes.
afterwards.
Moonshine and direct sunlight could, lead to looking
Oh no,
lobsterish.
no. There was no moonshine involved with the sunburn. That was just because I wasn't feeling anything, and I thought I was okay at 11:30 in the morning when the UV rays are like 10, and I'm like, I'm fine. I don't feel anything.
I'm gonna get some
Charlie's like,
color.
I'm not that white.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some color.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna get.
And that
I'm gonna
color
get
is
color
red.
for sure. That color was multiple, like Neapolitan ice cream. That's fun. That's a fun thing for me.
Oh yeah. So like
Brown
part
and
you
white.
had like a tan part and then a red part and then a white part.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Nice.
thinking more it's like a white tan for the crack, and then red on the other side.
Oh yeah. Have you ever
No. But yeah, that skin cancer is a fun thing. So that's I get to look forward to that.
Oh, well, yeah, I pretty much pay for skin cancer every year because I hate being pale. So the second it's like socially acceptable to have any kind of tan, like I'm in the cancer box. Like Suntan City, let's go. Crank that juice up. Those UV
I
bulbs.
mean,
considered-
you can use like bronzer. And
Ew,
like, it
no.
makes
What am I, a
darker later on.
Kardashian? No.
So like, is
I
it
mean,
considered
not like a fake
blackface?
tan, but like the bronzer you use when you tan.
Oh, I don't use that. I just get in dry.
Oh, honey, no.
It's the best
Too
nap
much.
you've ever had. You ever been in a tanning bed for 20 minutes and fall asleep?
I mean, not for that long, but like I do have I have done that, but like you don't get in there dry.
Well, so the ones I use, I pay for the nice ones where every 90 seconds, 2 minutes, it sprays like scented mist on you to cool you down.
Some bougie
That still
shit,
doesn't mean you
right?
get in there with unmoisturized skin.
I lotion when I get out. I don't go in, I don't put like the suntan lotion on me because it got the tingle shit in it and it drives me nuts.
No. You can get it without that shit because like that's a specific thing that you can get with the tingle. I don't fuck with anything like that. I've never gotten anything like that. But like something with a little bit of a bronzer is nice because you don't have to tan as often and it doesn't look streaky. It's not like fake tanner. It's it's a bronzer that helps aid in tanning.
Well,
Damn it, don't make
I just had an idea. The next time we all get together, we should do an episode where we all just go get spray tans and see how it turns out.
I love a good spray tan, but I get like the number one because I'm so fair skinned.
Yeah. Have you ever
Be like
overdone a
episode
spray
of
tan?
Always Sunny.
No, thankfully, because I know I need this like the lightest one.
I feel like
don't-
Jake should tan really well.
I do. Like, you could kind of see it. The light's yellow, but yeah, it'd be like I'll be like Mexican on one arm and then white on the other if I like have it out the window when I'm driving.
Oh yeah, you get the
funny.
trucker's tan.
Yeah, but it's like it changes the skin tone. It doesn't even turn into a tan. It'll be like I don't know. I turn brown. I don't tan.
That's what tanning is.
Yeah,
what the fuck do you think tanning is?
Yeah,
like
this bronze is just a shade of brown, son. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, because it's not like bronze.
I just turned brown. Okay, that.
Yeah, like what are we
That
talking?
matches
So we're not
that
talking
way.
tan brown. Are we talking about like David in the chat brown? Like, Do you just like inadvertently do blackface every time you go out in the sun for too long?
Not even that. It's like, oh, he's Mexican. He's not white.
Oh,
That's usually what it turns into.
yeah, like just random people come up and start speaking Spanish to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know what you're saying, but I don't know how to communicate back.
Yeah, that's my wife because she's like half Brazilian. So if we spend any
They
time,
speak Spanish.
yeah. Well, no, they speak Portuguese actually,
Exactly.
but she does not because her mom back in the day thought that speaking any language other than English made you seem poor, so she didn't want to teach her kids any languages. But yeah, if we're like when we went to Mexico, like on the way back, like people were just speaking Spanish to her because she's just so fucking tan, and she's like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And on our honeymoon, she was so fucking because she was super tan before we went to the Dominican Republic, and we were there for like 10 days, and she got so tan that people started speaking like Creole to her. I was like, she's not Haitian, man. That's how
Damn.
dark she was. Oh yeah.
I have never had that issue. Nor will I.
No, you show up and you just like you're like, oh man, check out this white chick. So they start like waving a Confederate flag around.
I mean, if you go like 2 shades darker than you normally would and dye your hair blonde, people might confuse you for Mexican.
I had a black guy ask me if I was Mexican one time, and I looked at him like, "Are you fucking for real?" And I was like, "I understand we're in like a dark restaurant right now, and you can't see me glow in the dark. But like, the fuck did you just say? But at the same time, I'm gonna relish this moment for the rest of my life because I will never have this ever happen to me ever
You know,
again."
Did you ever see that episode of Always Sunny where Dee went like too dark on her spray tan?
Probably.
Something
I
like
don't
that.
recall it. But I mean, to be fair to this guy who asked you if you were Mexican, were you like full chola regalia?
Yes, I was wearing a plaid shirt with the first buttons.
Yeah.
Some chinos, a wife beater. I had really thin eyebrows.
Did you have Adidas on?
really dark.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Were you dancing with your
all
elbows
white.
way up?
Yeah. I mean, like, how can you not? So, I can understand. No, I didn't have anything like that. But he literally said, "Oh, it's just because your hair's darker."
So dark hair, Mexican.
All right, man. I was like, "Is it really? Okay, that's
Are there naturally
adorable.
blonde Mexicans?
No,
Sure.
that's why I said if she dyed her hair blonde.
Oh,
yes, actually, there are.
I'm about to say there's got to be, right?
Yeah.
I know there's
I mean,
blonde.
there's like natural redheads, so
There's pale blonde-haired, blue-eyed people in
you
like
have to think about,
Argentina.
like the Spaniards that came over were fucking white.
Yeah.
yeah. No, my aunt is a like biological redhead. So is my grandma. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say I knew a redheaded Mexican, but his dad was was Russian and like fled the Soviet Union to Mexico.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, there are that too. Like I knew some. Well, I don't know them. They were my patients in the hospital. They were Mennonites, but they were from Mexico.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing down there, isn't there? Isn't like a big thing, like a big Mennonite community somewhere
it's
in
like
Mexico?
all over southern New Mexico. Like,
And so, like, they're German speaking and Spanish speaking, and they can be alcoholics. So you see them in the hospital every now and then because they need a paracentesis.
that's her favorite pastime is drinking.
Yeah, only the men though, not the women.
No, the women drink under the table.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe in secret.
So
Yeah, oh yeah.
So when I used to have to go to fucking Winnipeg, Canada all the time, actually it wasn't even Winnipeg. I'd fly into Winnipeg. I had to drive an hour south to this town called Morden, Manitoba, Canada. There's a huge Mennonite community there, and we'd always stay at this one hotel that had like an indoor pool. And we were there one time, and we were just like kind of drinking, and me and the like good guys I had to travel there for work, like having some beers around this pool, and like this Mennonite, like these like I don't know 3 or 4 Mennonite couples are there, and the guys are all wearing like Speedos, but the women are still wearing dresses and like the little bonnet things, and they're in the pool wearing dresses.
And
While
men are just
while the
hugging on
men
each
are
other
wearing
real
like
weirdly.
Speedos with like their bushes hanging out of them. We're like, man,
And
who
they
the
played Marco Polo, but only with
That's
each other.
fun.
yeah, like who the fuck wants to be a Mennonite? Fuck that noise.
I've heard like the head covering thing is actually like a symbol of like them being married.
Could be like Amish people with beards. You only grow a
Maybe.
beard if you're married in the Amish
But like I
community.
don't know if there's any rule for like men, to do anything because I have heard like from people who are of that culture complain about it, like a female actually. Because I like around this area, there's a lot of Mennonites who do farming, and I dated a guy who was a farmer, and he was, he had friends who were in that culture. So I got to find out about it because I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is a Mennonite? I've never heard of this." And so I was told it's similar to Amish.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I was
Amish light.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like Amish Mormon light.
Yeah.
But it's very much so of like men have way more freedoms than women do. So girls at a young age can wear whatever they want and have that kind of freedom. And once they reach a certain age, I'm not sure exactly what age that is, they have to start wearing like the
Well,
dresses.
yeah.
And,
Marriage age, which is probably like 14.
yeah, 13, 14. A lot of them make their own clothes. And a lot of them still speak German.
Yeah. Low
So
German.
actually, in ultrasound, at my school, a lot of the ladies we practice on at the school were Mennonites because they don't go to like normal Western medicine doctors because a lot of them do not have insurance. And so it's way too expensive. So they do midwives, and then they, do stuff like this and go to students that. So I scanned a lot of Mennonite pregnant women when I was in school, and if I found any anomalies or, variants that were catastrophic, like it would have been there as a student. Thankfully, that did not happen.
Are you
But they
trying to
only
say if they had like you could tell like the baby's face was a little too flat?
No, I'm talking about like if the baby didn't have a brain or a skull at all. It's anencephaly is what that's called.
It's kind of like looking at it. Oh my god, it's black.
Yeah. You ever seen an ultrasound? I don't like. I've had 2 kids, seen plenty of ultrasounds. The ultrasound tech's like, oh yeah, do you see this? It's like, nah. Like it just it looks like what having like a foot fall asleep feels like.
Point. I mean, if you know what you're looking
It's
at,
just all
like,
scrambly
you
and
can see
weird.
it. But it's. I mean, you're usually there at like 20 weeks, 22 weeks. That's when you learn gender. It's easier to see them. If you're there like later on, things get a lot more compressed. The baby gets bigger. It's harder to see
Right.
their faces. But early on, I don't usually have many people complaining because it's easier to see the baby.
Right. Yeah, I
There was
remember.
one time where
I
one of
remember our
them was,
like you know.
like that.
Yeah. I remember the one like where you figure out the gender, and I was like, well, it's a boy. And Stacey's like, how do you know? I was like, look, right there. And the ER tech's like, that's his leg. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Well, a lot of the times it can be very obvious.
It's like, boy's got a
usually-
hog on him.
Look at the size of that dick.
That's how you know he's my son.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I didn't have any fathers saying stupid shit like that to me. So.
Thankfully, man, come on, it made your day way more interesting.
Not really.
You would have loved it, Charlie.
I did have one lady, like this was an older couple, definitely in their 70s. And I was doing a AAA, which was like a checking for an aortic aneurysm and or an
I thought you were gonna say
abdominal
that they were
aortic
pregnant.
aneurysm. Do what?
I thought you were gonna say that they were like the old lady was pregnant. I was like, damn, nursing home be wild this weekend.
No, it was the man. And I was scanning him and I was like, oh, well, there's his heart. And she said, oh, he has one. And I was like, fuck. Stop scanning for
Yeah.
a second.
I had
Damn it,
a
lady.
I had a family member have to go get a colonoscopy, and his wife had to like be there to pick him up, so she's in the waiting room, and when they wheel him out, she just in the middle of the waiting room just says, "Well, did you find his head up there or what?"
That's funny.
Pretty good one. Pretty good one. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of off the grid for, I don't know, 10 days. Apparently, Britney Spears got slapped in the face.
Bitch slapped.
She kind of smacked herself in the face from the guy's hand, to be completely honest. Like, if you've seen the video, the guy was just doing his job, and it looks like she kind of hit herself in the face, but she kept going. It was like, I'm not gonna
This is
stop.
America.
So was she like reaching for the guy, and the security guard like
Yeah.
smacked her hand, and her hand hit her face?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me in the video.
That might be one of the most sane things that's happened to Britney Spears publicly in 5 years.
I mean, well, then they said like she approached them with an English accent. Number one.
Tracks. That tracks.
Like, what?
It really does.
I don't know. Part of me thinks like I could just see like Britney Spears like, "Hello." No, it'd be
Yeah.
it would just be so stinking cute if I just went up there with an English accent. If I
Like
sound,
Audrey Hepburn.
if I was there, if I just went up there sounded like
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
England.
yeah.
If I'm from England, I'm just gonna go.
Maybe he'll
Yes.
think I'm Madonna.
And like
Yeah.
the way like you can see him like kind of like his hand go, it just looks like he heard someone get close and was kind of like just like a smack, and then her hand came down, kind of smacked her, and like her glasses might have fell off her face, but like she never she didn't like her head didn't get thrown back or anything like that. It wasn't anything dramatic.
I heard she fell to the floor with a broken nose, bleeding out.
Right. No, she kept like following after whoever the fuck it was. And that's the other thing of like, who the fuck is the person she was trying to say hi to, and how the fuck does she know who this is? Because
He plays for the San Antonio Spurs, right?
right? Like, what the fuck? How does she know about this guy?
Right. That's what I was like. So we were in the car. So we ended up Friday. We were supposed to drive halfway back. And then our hotel in Indianapolis got fucked up. And then by the time we got to Indianapolis, it was only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're like, oh, we'll just keep driving. And we get to Peoria. We're like, we'll stop in Peoria, Illinois. And then by then it's only like 4 hours away, and it was 3:30 in the afternoon. So I was like, fuck it, we'll just get some dinner and go. But yeah, like my wife's in the car, like Britney Spears got like assaulted by somebody. Like she said the guy's name. It was like from the Phoenix Suns or something. I was like, I have no clue who that is. Like, no idea who that is. Yeah, and the way she made it sound was like, oh, Britney Spears like got like the straight like, shut the fuck up, bitch backhand,
Yeah.
like she got pimp slapped to the moon,
That's what I was kind of hoping when the video came
God,
out.
wouldn't that be fuck? That would have made it better, You know, it's just like fucking bitch got like spitting out teeth. Bang.
Like glasses fly off her face as soon as the hand makes contact with it.
I mean, nothing's better than a
No.
random stranger just beating the shit out of a woman, you know?
No, it's just literally a security guard doing his job and like a decent job at that, and then like her hitting herself. And it's just like, but it was Brittany. But if it was anyone else, who would give a shit?
I was kind of hoping that like someone walked up to her in Vegas and was just like, "Fuck you, Brittany."
Just smacked her.
Yeah.
Right?
God, that would have been the best. If some dude's just like, hey, it's Britney Spears. Like, oh, hey, are you a fan? Yeah, I'm a fan. Back. Like, just backhand.
Right?
Like,
I
like
mean,
right
I
here.
don't
Like, right in the
see any
cheekbone. Like a
security
solid,
guards.
like, knuckle right to the cheekbone. Solid wrap on the beak. Just like, get your shit together, woman.
There were no security guards near her, so like honestly, somebody could have done that if they wanted to. Because like he had his guys. She had fucking no one near her. I guess she just like ran off.
Well, where, like,
How the fuck does she know this guy
Where
to
the fuck-
run off and be like, hey?
hey,
Probably
yeah.
just saw someone with a
East
security guard and
Texas.
thought she could get into a picture with him. That's
Yeah.
completely honest.
Well, also, like, where the fuck does she go that she can do these kind of things? Like, you know, you'll see her, like just twirling around, like, rolling in the sand naked on some beach somewhere. Like,
thought
what
that
beach
was
is this? I'd be like, oh
over
shit, that's
here.
Britney Spears rolling around naked.
Why? Where was that? Was it in LA or Vegas? That I don't even like. where did
Vegas.
that happen?
I think she lives in Vegas, right?
See,
She
I thought she
does?
lived in Hawaii.
I
No.
thought she lived in Florida.
Federline lives in. K-Fed lives in Hawaii. That's why the kids are out there now.
Well, I thought that's why they were out there now. 'Cause she
No,
was-
it's K-Fed took the kids and took them to Hawaii, and she okayed it. I'm
okay.
pretty sure she still lives in Vegas. In that house where she burnt down her home gym because there was too many candles in it while she was working out.
You should fucking gym. I burned down my gym.
She's like, "Hey guys, so just so you know, I burnt down my gym. I was working out. There's too many candles. Like, bitch, why are there even candles in your gym? You know what I like? No, the last thing I think about, like when I'm
Burnt it
working
down
out,
on
is like,
purpose?
man, I wish it smelled like lemongrass and cumbermelon in here. I
What
want-
does the candle smell like? Why don't you be like that Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah.
I mean, how else?
When I'm getting a pump on, I want to smell Gwyneth Paltrow's goopy pussy.
Eau de pussy.
I've actually smelt that candle, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's a.
It doesn't
really
smell like a
interesting one.
vagina.
Just smells clean.
I know, like maybe like a, you know, I mean, literally like
sheep?
40 seconds out of a shower, like a intentionally like scrubbing the shit out of a vagina shower. You're not over here saying that vaginas smell bad, right? But it doesn't. It smells like a clean towel.
Like,
You know?
genitals have a smell, though.
They do.
Everybody knows that genital smell.
Yeah. You know, just depending on, you know, what time it is. It could be like, you know, could smell like, you know, a little flowery. It could also smell like, you know,
Well, vinegary.
it could smell like a sack of wet pennies. Charlie's face right now.
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, I've told you, dirty girls for life, man. I've been around. Well, one thing it doesn't smell like is laundry, which is what that what that candle smells like.
It's like a musky laundry.
Yeah. And also, how'd they even do the research for that? Like, I want a candle that smells like my vagina.
Just a smell scientist sitting there
Yeah.
smelling Gwyneth Paltrow all day, just like.
Yeah, she's like just like on like a surgical table or whatever, like or a gynecologist table, and there's like a smell dude just like, okay, yeah. Yep, like jotting down notes. Yep, definitely pulling some lavender out of this. Yeah.
Oh, she fucking farted in my face.
Yeah.
And she's laughing.
Yeah. And she farted. Scribble, back to the drawing board. 'Cause I'm sure there's already a fart candle out there.
There's like one that smells like ass,
What's ass smell like?
like shit and dirty sweat.
You have to ask that question.
I don't know. It's just, once again, I feel like this all depends on like the
Environmental
person
factors.
and the situation.
Like a football locker room.
Football. Oof. I don't know. I've never been 69ing some chick and be like, man, this smells like the locker room at school.
Well, no, a
Let's
candle
talk
that smells
about
like
this
that.
anymore.
Oh, a candle that smells like a locker room. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
no,
that.
we sent it to one of our teachers one year. That was pretty funny.
I know.
Hey, we got you a candle.
Yeah, because I know, like, yeah, genitals, even like, I mean, balls definitely have a smell, right? Like, Charlie's
Balls
having
have a very distinct smell.
Charlie's
Yes.
having PTSD over there, just like
Yes, they
Those-
do.
for listeners on the audio. When I brought up balls having a smell, Charlie just kind of closes her eyes and kind of like you know, like there's everybody has that one alcohol that they can't drink anymore, and just like the mere thought of drinking it makes them kind of like, oh,
Hey man, that used to be my job almost every fucking night.
to smell balls.
To scan balls in ultrasound, and it doesn't matter like young, old, whatever color the balls were, they all smelt the same at the end of the night. Yep. They had more of a smell than the vaginas did, so let that one sink
I
in.
can see that. I mean, you're talking about like, are you talking about?
Oh yeah, balls can smell bad.
Well, especially like if you're talking about like nursing home vagina, like that thing has not had any sort of like moisture in it in years, right? So,
No, I'm talking about emergency room vagina.
oh, an
and
emergency room vagina.
balls.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't know. Like, do vaginas like sweat? Because balls definitely sweat.
See, like,
not
worst-
really.
The worst vagina I've ever smelled like spicy peanuts.
Spicy
But, like,
peanuts.
My balls, after like working out, have smelled very, very like
Vinegary? Mine typically go like to a vinegar side of things.
it's like a vinegar with like a musk. I think that's the smell Charlie's talking about.
I don't want to think about it that hard. Honestly, I really just want to talk about anything else at this point. I would
The-
love that
the-
more than anything.
The smelly balls.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, did you guys light off any fireworks for 4th of July?
A few, not many. My brother-in-law almost got blown up. That was
Of course. How it goes. We,
I mean, alcohol and explosives makes a really fun mix.
yeah, you know, luckily I've still got all my fingers. My only hands is still, you know, going strong. There you go. There's a free one for everybody. My nice
Strong
hands.
hand.
Ooh, this one looks fucked up. Wait, no, I'm mirrored. So, which one was it? This one looks kind of fucked up.
It's just sliding.
I've broken like every one of my fingers. So, but yeah, no. So we stopped in Tennessee again to get fireworks because they have the good fireworks. North Carolina doesn't have the good fireworks. North Carolina's, you know, snakes and sparklers. So we got them. I got some mortars. I got these. My wife's like, "Oh, get some of those like poppers for the kids. You know, where you like throw them and they pop.
I love those.
They're like little
big
white
ass
things.
ones?
You know. I got these ones. They look like M80s."
Oh, those are great.
And the guy's like, "Man, these are like adult poppers." And my first thought was like, "You mean like what the gay guys do and have sex? Like to pop them in your nose?" But apparently no, they're just like loud as shit. And I threw one, and it was it was louder than an M80. And I was like, "Holy shit!" So I bought like 4 more packs of those, and I put them in the gun safe. So like if somebody ever breaks in my house, I'm just taking a handful of them and chucking them down the stairs before I come
Yeah.
down.
Throw that at each other. Those were so fun.
Before I come down with my tomahawk, I tell Alexa to, let the bodies hit the floor, and then just a lot of loud pops, and then here I come with my tomahawk. But
Completely naked, of course.
well, of course, I sleep naked, completely naked. Especially, well, even if I'm not naked, if somebody breaks in the house, I'm getting naked because that's the last thing they're gonna
Beowulf
expect.
style.
That's actually I've probably told this before, but our works safety guy was like, oh, so let's say you're at your desk and you hear gunshots. What's the first thing you do? And I was like, start taking my clothes off. He's like, are you serious? Like, oh yeah. He's like, what? Okay. And I was like, it's the last thing that shooter's gonna expect to see me buck naked with 2 ballpoint pens in my hand ready to fight. I don't run. I don't hide. I go straight to fight and buck naked.
Beowulf.
Yeah,
Do
Beowulf.
it for Dale.
Yeah, do it for Dale. I've got that tattooed on my dick. Do it for Dale, just in case. But so
I was gonna say balls.
no, just on the dick. I also have my social security number and home address tattooed on there. So,
Yeah, in case you get lost. You
Yeah.
never know.
but so I went and got some mortars, and we were lighting them off at the house, the rental house. And like my best friend was over there, so he's helping me light them. The house was kind of up on this hill, and the driveway kind of ran down below the house. Like, oh, we'll go light them off in the driveway. And after, I don't know, I bought like 60 of these mortars. Near the end, we're like, oh, we should try lighting 2 at a time, like in a tube. So we're sitting there talking about like, okay, if we put 2 in one tube, how do we light this? Do we light the bottom one first? Do we light the top one first? Do we light them together? And as we're sitting here discussing it, I hear my mom up on the deck of this house, like, what are they doing? And my brother, swear to Christ, I hear my brother go, oh, yeah, Bill and Kyle probably are loading 2 mortars at a time in there and trying to figure out which one to light first. I was like, yep, that's exactly what we're doing. Turns out you can't do it. It didn't work. We tried every way to do it, and only one would go off, and it would go off about halfway up. So we'd be like, well, there's the first boom. There's no second boom. What happened to the second boom? So then we're like, easing our way back to like the little mortar tube. Like, is it in there? Like, kicking it. So somebody out there's a better fireworks expert than I am, can tell me how to, fire 2 mortars at once, because I couldn't figure it out.
Get 2 shells,
Mm-hmm.
the little things, and then light them off at 2 different times. That's
I know. I only had 1 tube. That's where I messed up. I only bought 1 tube.
yeah.
So, is what it is.
That's when you get like a traffic cone and just. Bonk.
Well, that's what my BFF down there, who's absolutely batshit crazy, was like, what if I just lit one and then like right before the fuse hits the mortar, I just throw it into the air? And I was like, that's how you lose a finger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not drunk enough to try that one. I was pretty drunk, but not
Yeah.
drunk enough for that.
Fireball still hasn't hit with that one yet.
Yeah, no, we were out of Fireball at that point. We had moved over. My brother brought he was in Taiwan for work and brought this like wild ass Taiwanese whiskey. And I just kept saying like, oh, so it's Chinese whiskey? He's like, no, it's Taiwanese whiskey. I was like, yeah, but it's kind of Chinese whiskey, right? But it was pretty good. It was a little Scotchish for me, but it's whatever. I think what else happened. Kind of a slow week. After 4th of July, things kind of died down.
I mean, Hunter was gacked out.
Yes, he was. I saw that.
He's my hero. I fucking love him.
Hunter Biden? Yeah, well, he's living his best,
The quintessential politician's son.
Especially that whole little line.
I don't know. Yeah, he's like,
I'm fine.
grinding his teeth. I'm doing
I
okay.
was at the inauguration.
Man, these fireworks. So good.
God, so many colors.
Ah. Why am my mouth so dry?
I got my
Hey,
dead
water.
brother's wife pregnant.
Yeah. Wait, did he get her pregnant or just sleep with her?
No, he knocked her out. I'm pretty sure he knocked her out.
'Cause I know he has a kid with that stripper, who's like I now follow on Instagram, who seems like a pretty normal person.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Pretty normal.
but I don't know. What else happened this week? I tried to pull up Yahoo, which is where I go for my news. So Yahoo.
You know, I was even listening to podcasts all week, and there was like.
Yeah, I
nothing
missed.
in
I
it.
haven't missed. I haven't listened to like a single Drinking Bros from last week. I don't know.
Everybody's just exhausted after the Ocean Gate things. Like, we just can't.
Yeah. We're kind of on the come down. That was the peak.
That was really fun.
So we think. Who knows? The way things go, like we keep thinking we hit these peaks and it's gonna come down, and it kind of peaks, starts to come down, and then there's one more thing.
I don't know. I saw like a photo dump of the Russian guy Prigozhin wearing a bunch of wigs and fake beards, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah. But I thought that was like past stuff that he's done. Something like that.
Oh, I thought it was like recently.
I have no idea. Who fucking knows at this point?
You know, there's one where he looks like the fucking main character of The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
He has like the big long beard with no mustache. He's just kind of standing there smiling.
Cheechov
He's a
says
fucking
Hunter's.
shitlord.
Cheechov says Hunter's theme song is Ayo for Yayo. Probably. Watch, he's gonna be like, can you imagine Hunter Biden like walking into like a WWE wrestling match just out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Like there's a fight
Yeah.
going on, and all of a sudden there's like some weird ass music, and you just see some dude like in a suit, like just super sweaty, grinding his teeth, like walking down the things, all gacked out. And JR, oh my God, it's Hunter Biden, and like runs and slides in, and just like people elbows somebody, and then just has a heart
Like when-
attack.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Honestly.
I mean, we should just
Fingers
fucking lean
crossed.
into him.
Fingers crossed.
Like, I don't give a shit about his dad. I really love Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves crackhead.
Dude, he is like the stereotypical just fucking rich crackhead.
I mean, at what point when you're that rich though, where does crack become involved?
Coke.
Oh, easy.
I mean, I guess like Whitney Houston did it, even though she said, "Listen to me, crack is
Whoa.
cheap."
Crack
I
is
do
whack.
cocaine.
She makes too much money.
Yeah, did she though? Because she was on crack. But I'm pretty sure that was because of Bobby Brown.
I mean, Bobby might have bought crack, but that doesn't mean Whitney did.
She wasn't buying it. She was just smoking it, alright?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, fair.
Bobby had to buy the crack, not Whitney.
Well, here's the thing,
It's illegal
Bobby.
to buy the drugs, not
I
to
think
do them.
I think Bobby's the only one left in that family still alive, so maybe he's onto something.
Surprisingly enough.
He's still smoking crack.
Probably is. Know why? Because that's his prerogative. It's a Bobby Brown song, by the way. For
I wish
people that
Bobby
might
Brown
miss
would
that.
be like OJ on Twitter, where he just like comes and gives his point of views on stuff.
Yeah, hello Twitter world. Looks like Bobby Brown.
Just starts going after bathtub companies.
Yeah, just like randomly spouting off about like weird shit, like Bobby Brown goes. I bet you Bobby Brown would probably be a blast on Twitter. About like how OJ Simpson is.
Coca-Cola?
No, he starts like advocating for DARE in schools on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Dare's not even about drugs anymore. It's about depression. Kind of weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
So instead of was it drug? What did DARE stand for?
I don't even
Drug and
know.
alcohol resistance education? Was that what it was?
It's like depression readiness or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah, no, I know
remember.
they completely changed it. One of my friends was telling me about it because they had it at his daughter's school.
I never
Drug
remember
abuse
it.
resistance education. Dare. But I remember being in Dare and it was like, man, let me tell you. Like, and he just like started talking about like what doing certain drugs would like make you feel like. You know, I was like, well,
Really
that
made me
sounds
wanna
pretty
do
rad.
drugs.
I'm curious now.
It almost was like the like you know that whole bit from the Dewey Cox movie. Where it's like, get out of here, Dewey. You don't want no part of this shit. What is
Weed's
it?
awesome, alright?
Cocaine. What's it do? I don't want to get addicted. It's not habit forming. It's like, well, I don't
You don't
feel
want no
real great.
part,
It'll take your
Dewey.
bad feelings and turn them into good feelings. It's like, I'd like to try some of that
I don't want to be a
cocaine.
part of that.
You don't want to be
I
happy,
never
Dewey.
once paid for drugs.
Never want to pay for drugs. Not once. You slept with my wife. And you slept with me. And I've been confused about it ever since. And you never once paid for drugs. Not once. I gotta go back and rewatch that movie.
That fucking movie is so
It's probably
good.
been 15
So
years since
Let's
I've watched that
Duet
movie.
Is a great song.
Do what? Let's duet.
Let's Duet.
Yeah, let's duet.
Let's Duet.
It's like, you can't be double married, Dewey. But what if you're famous?
I'm famous, I can do whatever I want, right?
Yeah, what's it? You were married? Well, I was going to tell you, and then you started telling me about that dream where you were licking my balls, and I kind of forgot. The only downside
Fuck,
is
it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
the only downside is that chick was Pam from The Office, and fuck Pam from The
Yes.
Office.
But we did get the wrong kid died. Damn it! We
Wrong
did get
kid
that
died.
from that movie. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things. Somebody said that about like Biden. Like he says that to Hunter. Wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died.
I remember a little while ago I got corrected because I thought that was actually said in I Walk the Line. 'Cause-
Oh, right. Yeah, no.
and they're like, no, Jake, that was Dewey Cox. And I was like, oh.
It's fuck.
Wrong
Fuck
kid
hard.
died. This is the worst case of
One of my
being
favorite
cut in
things,
half
too,
I've
is
ever seen.
He's nose blind.
My boys smell deaf.
He's nose blind.
And he's doing that interview with Jane Lynch or whatever. It's like, so I hear God, like every question she asks, he's like asking about his kids. He's like, yes, I am in a custody battle with my ex-wife. I don't think custody of my children should be forced upon me if I don't want it. He's like, well, Dewey Cox, do you ever like take the time to just stop and smell the roses? He's like, I'm nose deaf, you fucking bitch. And like gets up and walks off.
I remember the first time I saw that movie as a kid, I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on.
Steph, you fucking bitch.
And I'm just like, what the fuck the entire time? Because I was probably like 9 or 10, and I didn't understand what parody was, so I thought it was Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love
Babe,
it when
it's a
they're like,
long, hard walk. And I will walk hard. Don't you dare start writing a song right now, Dewey Cox. Who was that? Wasn't that I think shit, what's her name? Kristen Wiig plays his first wife.
Yeah, they get married when
Yeah.
they're like kids.
I'm Dewey's 14-year-old girlfriend. It's a song about holding hands. The devil has hands, which he uses for holding. Well, add that to the list to watch. That'd be a good one to watch.
all right. Shit, I don't know what happened to Jake. He's
I don't know
fucking
either,
gone.
but I got things to do. I got somebody coming over here to buy some shit off of me from Facebook, so I gotta get off here.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you know. Times are tough. Selling hand jobs on Facebook now. That's what happens when you drink Bud Light. Oh, there he is. Jake rejoins us. What happened? Did you lose power, Jake?
No, my laptop screen flashed black and
Oh no. Your laptop just said,
pretty much.
Pretty
Yeah, that was
much.
weird.
So we were just going to wrap things up. So thanks for joining us. I know it's a Sunday night, kind of a weird time, but hey, I missed it. I wanted to see my peeps. And you already know what to do, guys. Go out, like and subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on iTunes, rate on not review on Spotify. Also, oddly this week, I don't know if it's because it's 4th of July week, we got a lot of people using the promo code Nooner at repcps.com. So I'm guessing everybody wanted the Show Me That Butthole hat for 4th of July. Either that or they got
Fuck
drunk on 4th of July and saw somebody with one and says, I need that hat. Bought one. So keep that up. And yeah, it's been fun, guys. We'll see you Thursday night. It's been the Nooner Nation. For Jake, for Chuck, I'm Bill.